This is a free sample of the book, Reinvent Ideal, What to Do When You're Depressed and No One Cares Because You're Not a Chick, by Cairo Copeland. The first half of this book is posted right here on YouTube, free for everyone to listen to. If you like this content and want to hear or read the rest, or want to listen to it free of ads, visit reinventideal.com/ideal. The book is available on Kindle, paperback, and Audible at reinventideal.com/ideal.
Chapter 1, Red Pill Reinvention. Now I apologize for the previous introductory chapter if you listened to it. Introductions are often a waste of time to read. Take that from a guy that reads at least 55 books a year. Most of what's going on is that the author is using pages of the book as sales copy in order to get you to buy the book. We're taught that if we can articulate a problem better than the person experiencing it, we've made the sale. That's all that the introductions to nonfiction books do. I'm guilty of it too. My last book spent way too much time highlighting the problem of a financial world that disproportionately favors females over males. I'm sorry. I can only continue to share my specialties with you if I can make a living doing it, so the salesmanship is necessary. However, with this book, a more important mission is being undertaken. Male misery is a deadly poison upon the world that spreads like ripples in the water and affects everyone around us. Therefore, I've decided to start this book differently. At the end of each of my previous books, I make a list of rules, which are really more like tools than rules. They summarize the lessons that I wish the readers to take from my writing. They're saved for the end in order to sum things up and ensure they remember what I was really trying to say with so many words. But this time, I thought I might start the book with such a list. The hope is that this time, even the guys that can't afford to buy the book will at least be able to see this in the Look Inside preview on Amazon and be able to do their own research on how to put these principles into place. When men are miserable and feel unloved, they act out. It could be merely self-damaging like suicide, or damaging toward others like large-scale violence. These outbursts affect us all. Even if we're not physically harmed, the reputation that arises is that males are dangerous, and everywhere we go, the presumption of bad intentions hangs over our head. All hands must be on deck to stop this trend in its tracks. Therefore, think of the following list as my promises to you of what this book will do for you, what you will get out of it, and what you will learn. 12 rules of reinventing yourself. 1. Establish your values and act on them. Never act on your emotions. Emotional pain is like an infection of the zombie virus. It causes us to do things we later regret. When we've been hurt deeply by a bad breakup, a devastating divorce, or a long line of continual back-to-back harsh rejections, we become at risk. The fact that the world doesn't care about our emotional well-being just because we're male causes us to grow cold and even dead inside. We become jaded. We become negative individuals that, wittingly or not, make the rest of the world feel as bad as we do and help it become a worse place for our kind. The solution to stopping this is to establish a set of core values before bad things like these occur, before society gives us the cold shoulder, before it gives us the deaf ears, and before our hearts are pierced with the knife in them twisted to no end. When these painful situations arise, you'll have your values to fall back on to govern your response to them. This will be how you fight back against the onslaught of emotions assaulting your mind and commanding you to do something you can't undo. A core of strong values to act from must override the influence of negative emotions. Number 2. Pursue success, not women. Much of the pain you'll endure as a man comes from the fact that we're biologically and neurologically hardwired to want the approval and appreciation of women. It will drive you to spend great amounts of time, money, and energy on them, investments for which little return will be given back. As a result, we become more distraught in our lives and feel lost and hopeless. Now, ironically, when you pursue something other than validation from women, not only do you become happier, but also the women start to chase you. You never lose women chasing money, but you will always lose money chasing women. What you chase doesn't even have to be money. It could be success at something else. It can be muscles and peak fitness. It could be knowledge and intelligence. It could be the mastery of a craft. Whatever it is, prioritizing that over finding a woman will lead to greater happiness. And this is because these other pursuits will give back to you what you put into them. It's easier to build a $1 million business than it is to find the perfect woman for you. If you put your mind to it, you can really make it happen in the world of business, professions, and skills. But as you've probably experienced that when it comes to women, you can do everything right and still get nothing back. Number 3, make yourself your original point of concern. Too often, when guys are given a choice that greatly affects the direction of their lives, the last person they consider is themselves when making the decision. A case in point, a guy is offered a great job in another state, but turns it down because his wife doesn't want to move. Or a guy gets accepted into a prestigious college, but doesn't go because he chooses to go to the one his girlfriend is attending instead, so he can still keep her. Or it can even be something small, like deciding to see a chick flick with her on a date night instead of the movie you really wanted to see, because you want her to be happy when she's with you, even if you're not. In each of these cases, the guy is thinking about others before himself. He forgets that he has the right to be happy in this life, since he only gets one of them. Further, only he can make himself happy, because the rest of the world does not care if he is, nor will it lift a finger to do so. The only person that will prioritize your emotional well-being and contentment is you. Do not expect others to ever do the same. They will let you down every time. Further, they will never show you appreciation for the fact that you prioritize their happiness. Any sacrifices you make to do so will be soon forgotten. When faced with a decision, think first about how the outcomes benefit you. You were not put on this earth to sacrifice yourself for the pleasure of others. Number 4, be a frugal fuckthrift. Ever notice how the staunch political activists that are very set in their beliefs are some of the most unhappy people on earth? They can't enjoy a party with lots of other people unless everyone there agrees with them on everything. Their problem is that they care too much. An animal rights activist that takes themselves so seriously will never enjoy a Chick-fil-A sandwich because all they can think about is the poor chicken that was slaughtered to produce it. While such people are often on the margins of the population, the average guy has a similar problem plaguing him when it comes to caring too much. He cares too much what other people think of him, and in doing so, it robs him of his ability to be happy in the moment. The secret to happiness is not finding more causes to champion, or more victories to attain, or more things to care about, but rather less things to care about. To be frugal and thrifty with the fucks you give. If you were a billionaire, you'd be set for life and have one less big thing to worry about, your cost of living. At that net worth level, your life is already paid for, so it becomes easier to be happy. The great thing about caring is that it's something that requires proactive effort on your part. You don't just care automatically, you have to actively choose to give a fuck. So don't give it, or at least limit, value, and budget the fucks you give. The less you give a fuck about something, the less it can stress you out and cause you anxiety. This is particularly true about maintaining relationships with women or attempting to start relationships with them. The more you care about it early on, the more try-hard, thirsty, and needy you seem. As a result, they cease to be attracted to you. But when you don't care, they will wonder why you don't, and do their best to make you, even chase you. Number 5, always have options. As men, loyalty is a concept that runs in our blood. We greatly appreciate our loyal friends and those that stick up for us behind our backs. Women, however, do not. If they find out we've been unfaithful to them, they will certainly scream about it. But all the time that we are faithful to them, they show no appreciation for it because it's merely an expectation they have of us. They do not have the frame of reference to understand what it's like being male in today's pornographic world, where sexual images are not just on screens, but in real life, as scantily dressed women are everywhere, And they even come flirt with us when they know we're in a committed relationship because of pre-selection. Further, we're often treated by women like we're just options. With the rise of social media and all the attention from males they easily get from it, they know their options are endless. Create a female profile on Tinder and see how many options it generates. Often, when there's one thing about you she doesn't like, you're dropped immediately without a second thought. There are just too many other guys out there to replace you. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to do something that will naturally cause you to act less desperate for their approval and attention. Date non-exclusively. Date many women at once. Have many prospective partners at once. When you focus on just one, your investment in them is greater, and there is much more to lose if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to. So you may act more desperate. But if you have many options at your disposal, you'll be less desperate, and it will hurt a lot less when one of them doesn't work out. So like a circus performer attempting to balance many objects on his body all at the same time, even while some objects will fall off, others will balance each other out. Let the women in your life do the same. Number 6. Never surrender the frame. It is better to lose the relationship with her than to lose respect for yourself. You'll also lose her respect. It is better to lose the girl than to lose the frame. Once you surrender the frame, you no longer have the girl. Rather, she has you by the balls. In order to be a man that's happy in his relationship with women, you must define clear boundaries and ask that they adhere to them. These must be enforced with consistency, no matter how many times she tests them, which sure as you're born, she will. You must stick to them. Your mind will play tricks on you, telling you that if you relent just this one time, she'll appreciate it and see you as an equal. That is never the case. Relent just once, and you will have lost her respect for good. When you set these boundaries, she tests them because deep down in her soul she wants to know that you will in fact enforce them. That is how you make her feel safe. How do you enforce it? By withholding the attention that she craves from you. Depending on how severe the offense was, it may be held for a few moments, a few days, or forever. Attention is as much of a drug to them as sex is to us. This will be your best tool to solidify your boundaries and maintain ownership of the frame. What's merely tolerable today becomes unbearable tomorrow. The red flags you let slide now are the reasons they'll make you miserable later. Number 7. After taking a shower, don't put on the same shitty clothes. Never put an ounce of effort to get back together with an ex. Let them do all the work if it is to happen. More value is added to your life by going back out on the search for new prospective women than by pursuing a rekindling with a previous one. When attempting to get back with an ex, what can be gained is known and limited. When searching for new prospects, what can be gained is unknown and unlimited. Which is going to spark more growth in you as a person? Well, the latter, of course. Number 8. For the love of God, please learn how to sit still in a room. Time has an amazing power that can be used for your benefit. It's able to amortize emotions, change opinions, and make people forget bad early impressions. People are more likely to forgive a fuck-up when they can say, that was a long time ago. The majority of your anxieties and problems you'll face as a young man will disappear with time. If you're struggling to get the attention and interest of women, just wait. When you reach your peak of sexual market value around age 36, they'll do all the chasing while you do the choosing. Many guys do not get to experience nor enjoy this splendid time because they couldn't wait for it. They got bogged down in a bad relationship earlier. They settled and got married to the person they thought was the best they could have. They did not realize that the best they could have at that time was not the best they could have for all time. The talent you must learn here is how to sit still in a room, how to handle, deal with, and embrace the uncertainties of life. They will always exist. Just let time do the work of sorting them out. Number 9. The stronger man walks away from a fight he knows he could easily win. More so when it's a fight that he feels he deserves to win. This means do not seek vengeance on an ex after a breakup. Do not engage in a cold war when the relationship ends. Walk away from her and everything associated with her completely. The greatest insult you can hurl is to deem your offender as not even worthy of taking vengeance upon. Further, only in your absence may attitudes and feelings they have about you change. When you are present, you are influencing these attitudes and feelings, intentional or not. The taste they have about you is already negative, and anything you do will only enhance its negativity, but your absence acts as an eraser on their mind. Number 10. You're the prize, not them. Act accordingly. Look at everything you have to offer to your partner in your current relationship, or your next one. Like a good job, a house, a car, no unwanted children. What do they have that even compares? Now, look at the negative things about them that they bring to the relationship, like single motherhood, daddy issues, a dramatic personality, emotional baggage, and debts. What do you have that even compares? Use that rationality and logic that you were born with as a male to run a comparison between you and her. You'll find that the more you analyze the situation, the more you'll realize she's luckier to have you than you are to have her. Realize that you are the prize and act like it, because it's a dangerous damn world if you don't. Do not worship her. Do not treat her like a goddess. You'll never admit it. But women would rather be objectified than idealized, because idealization is just cheap attention. Number 11. Never call your woman your best friend. Your best friend is not the person that makes you unhappy because they've stopped having sex with you. Your best friend is the guy you complain to about it and offers you the advice to correct her behavior. A male best friend, or male friends in general, will always do more to better your life as a man than any girlfriend or female friendship ever will. When you're around men, your testosterone goes up, and when you're around women, it goes down. What women can offer you, while very tempting, is in the long run worth much less due to the trouble they put you through to get it. Other men can easily understand what you're going through. Women will never understand. Other men may have gone through it themselves and can offer you legitimate advice on how to overcome any obstacle that is unique to the male experience. Further, there is a deeper genetic imperative for us to find our tribes than there is for us to find a woman. The luckier man is he who's found a true best friend than he who's found a good wife. Number 12. Say next more than you say wait. The moment a date is not what you expected, when it's not going the way you want it to, when she's not the woman you'd hope she'd be, or if you don't feel respected, end the date right away. If you're just talking to a woman and you feel you're not able to establish and maintain ownership of a frame with her, discontinue interactions with her right then. You cannot force things to be as you hope they would be. You cannot make a woman be anyone or anything other than whom she chooses to be. Cutting your losses early is always better than attempting to turn a loss into a win. There are plenty of opportunities to win out there. The trick is to avoid the losses as best as you can, so the wins can take care of themselves. These are the best tools that the red pill can give you. Every man must have them at his immediate disposal for a better, happier life. If these principles are mastered and made part of your life, it is highly unlikely that you'll endure a lot of emotional pain. Further, if you find these tools to resonate with you, and agree that they may perhaps make for a better life, well, continue to listen, because in the chapters that follow, I will demonstrate how best to put them to use and make the most of them. You will be shown the full extent to which they may help you, and there will be case studies that exemplify their use from real people I've worked with in my coaching practice. Let this be the owner's manual for having a male mind.
Thank you for listening to this free sample of the book, Reinvent Ideal: What to Do When You're Depressed and No One Cares Because You're Not a Chick, by Cairo Copeland. If you enjoyed it and want to hear or read the rest, or want to listen to it free of ads, visit reinventideal.com/ideal. The book is available on Kindle, paperback, and Audible at reinventideal.com/ideal.